Hello, welcome back to Saint Malos here, and I'm making this video to answer a question from Antun Brnic, who asked, I can make like bad box in my logistics pipe system or anything that requires a RE battery or anything that can be filled with EU. Do you know what is the problem? Uh, it's hard to understand the question actually, but thanks a lot for your comment. I'm gonna try to answer it as good as I can. So we're talking about RE battery right here, and we're talking about logistic systems, of course, and we're talking about a bad box, right? So you're trying to figure out how to send RE batteries to your bad box with the logistic system. So for that, I prepared this little kind of test here. So there is a logistics power junction connected to a basic logistics pipes. There is another cobblestone. You know that every junction has to have a basic logistics pipes at least. And so I have another junction over here. Now, the pipes to the bad box, they cannot connect from the side. So if you do this, you see the pipes do not connect to the bad box, but it only connects from the bottom like this, as you can see is in the bottom, and they only connect to the top as well because the two only slots that it has is from the bottom and the top. Now you probably know that if you put it on the top, it's going to charge your battery, and if you put it on the bottom, it's going to deplete your battery. So I believe that your question was how can you send charge batteries into here to be charged with your logistics system. And the answer is kind of simple, but I'm going to answer it a couple of ways. So first of all, you need a provider. There we go. Now the provider is not a provider. You need the supplier. All right. So this thing will supply items that you tell it to supply. So I'm going to try to supply here charged battery. Right. It says there. As you can see over here, it says RE battery charged, RE battery. So you can see there's a different number, so it's going to provide this one over here. So if I put this empty one, it says the ID number is 4319. That's not the one. This is 4322-1. So I'm going to supply this one over here. And as you will see in a second, it gets pulled out from the system. It gets put into this place, and now it's charging. That's how you close it. Now over here, what do I have? I have this basic logistics pipe set up to default route, yes, because this is going to be counting as a buffer. And you can have any other type of chest. Let's say you want maybe a crystal chest, vanilla chest, ender chest, any type of chest you want, you can put it in there. As long as you put the default route, whatever that falls into the system that doesn't have a place to go will fall into this place right here. So next thing, you need a provider logistics pipes so you can actually pull items out into the system, because the system would only be able to spit out items into that place, and it's not going to be able to see them unless you have a provider logistics pipe. So you see this yellow square, and now this is a supplier that has a yellow cross. Now if you try to do that now, you probably are needing to pull this out and then charge it somehow, right? So I'm gonna just suck some energy out of here, and you may want to try to put it into an MFSU. But as soon as the moment you do that, let's say I'm gonna have to pull this one out of here. There we go. As soon as you do that, you're gonna try to put an empty one in here to an MFSU, and what's gonna happen with the empty one is gonna get pulled out of here. It's gonna go into this place over here. Awesome, but the problem is it falls into the bottom. So we don't want it to fall into the bottom. So what you need to do is not to put it on the bottom, but actually to put it on the top like this. Well, with the actual supplier logistics pipes. There we go. So we did the supplier, we put it like this. And now if you got a full one, it's not going to do anything. If you got an empty one, obviously it's going to go to its respective one. So the empty one will get into this to get charged. The full one will get over here to get pulled out. But now there's another thing that we need to do. Once it's full, how are we going to suck it out? So you need to be able to do two things on this block on the bottom. And for that, we use chassis. And each chassis, depending on the grade, it will give you a couple of options to do. Now I'm using chassis marks 2 because I'm going to have to use two things on the bottom. and obviously 2 things on the top as well. So now this chassis Mark II will be having to have modules. One for the one that acts like this as a supplier, and there is a passive supplier and an active supplier. I'm gonna use the active supplier for now, and you're gonna need also a provider. So provider modules, obviously we have two versions. It doesn't matter, you can use whichever. And I'm gonna use another supplier right there. There we go, active supplier. So you just right click once, right click twice, right click once, right click twice. There we go. And I think I did it correctly. Okay, so the supplier is going to supply to this thing empty batteries, and the opposite on the other side, right? So supplier, we need to provide empty batteries to this thing. And this over here, we're going to be supplying full batteries on the bottom. There we go. Now, what is the other module going to work like? This provider module basically is going to say whatever is inside the inventory that I'm touching, basically this right here in the bottom, it's going to be able to be accessed through the system. So that way the battery doesn't need to come back all the way to the chest. Other option we could do is to put an extract pipe, an extractor module, and set it to an advanced extractor module. This one right here. Over here, click this icon over here and set it to extract only depleted batteries, right? So once the battery is completely depleted, as you can see, it's not pulling it out, it's not pulling it out, it's not pulling it out. But once it's completely depleted, it will be sucked out and sent into the system, which will fall into this chest. And there is an item over here. There's this thing over here requesting full empty batteries, so they will fall into here, and then you can get it to be fully charged. Now when it's fully charged, you could set it up over here as again an extractor, an advanced extractor module, slap it in there, and say only extract fully charged batteries. So from here, if you put the battery there, it's gonna go ahead and pull it out. Now we're gonna see a problem over here. The battery is gonna go ahead to the backup chest because it needs to be part of the inventory. It's gonna be requested by here. It's gonna come in here, and let's do that again. It's gonna come inside there and charge our little bat box. And you see the ID it changes to 4319. And the charge battery has another different ID. So once it's here, 43919, it requests an empty. And over here, it's requesting the 4322. So the problem here is that, as you can see, it got in there and it's not even complete. It's not fully charged. You see 4322, it's not fully charged, but it got expelled. This is because there is no way to set up an advanced extractor with damage to say that you need exactly this damage. So that way, for that reason, we're going to use a provider just to tell out whatever is in here is able to be used in any part of the system. Same as over here. So we're going to be using those providers, and basically you don't need to change anything on the provider. So if I have a battery down here and the battery gets depleted, it's going to count as an empty battery in the system, and obviously this thing is going to request it, and it's going to be like, hey, give me that, and it's going to stay there until it becomes the battery that this one is requesting. So now this one is requesting that battery, and now there we go. We have a bat box that is getting pretty much charged. The charge gets completed, it goes into here, it gets filled up, and then it gets, just do that. I'm going to use a mass fabricator just to keep depleting that that bat box, and as you can see, there we go. We got a logistics system that charges batteries, sends them to a bat box, and charge the bat box. Now obviously you can do that with any other thing. This is the one way you can do it, and as again we just need the chassis mark II with an active suppliers requesting from the top or the bottom, and a provider just to let the system know, like this provider over here, that whatever's in that inventory, it can be used for the system. Now that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, which is way much, I like it more just because of one thing. It's to use a little different elements of this thing. So now I'm gonna be using EU. There we go. It's called Logistics EU Power Provider. This is gonna be fun. So let's say I have this thing over here. It's connected to this, and as you can see, it's storing some energy. Now I'm gonna use a basic logistics pipes right in front of here, and I'm gonna use some of this to connect. And now this thing over here is storing EU power, and I'm gonna try to power this bat box over here. So the bat box needs to be connected with probably some kind of basic logistics pipes like this, and I'm gonna extend this thing like this. Now we have a junction over here. You always know, I guess you already know that any junction in logistics pipes, you need a basic pipe, otherwise the items will go crazy. So okay, how I'm gonna send the power from here to here if this doesn't even connect from any side? Alright, so what you need to do is to get a couple of upgrades. So you see there's power transportation upgrade and can be applied to all pipes. And then there is power suppliers. So there is LV, there is MB, and there is HV, and obviously EV. So I'm going to use one of these LVs. As soon as you put this power supplier in here, it connects to anything that takes LV. It also could connect to a macerator if you want as well. So let's go ahead and try to do that later on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that LV. And slap it in there. So now you see it got a little blue thing. Now if you come over here and hit it with a wrench, you're not going to see the upgrade. To see the upgrades, you need something else to check it, and that's the logistics pipe controller, this thing right here. So you right click that and you can see a lot of different things of the logistics pipes that you're touching. One is the IC2 LV power supplier that you got, the little upgrade that you got there. Now the other thing is, okay, now this thing is supposed to be providing, this thing is supposed to be here, but we don't see anything moving. Okay, that is the reason. The reason is because we don't have the power transportation upgrade. You need a power transportation upgrade on here. Now it has it. It's right there. You need a power transportation upgrade over here, and you don't need it over here because you have the power supplier. But as you can see, it has now a blue dot. And this thing has a red dot. There you go. It has power. Has a red dot as well. This one has a red dot. This one has green dots. So we need to tell this thing, and you can see it has a blue dot as well. So this blue dot and this blue dot are connected over here. Now why is not connecting over here? Because there is nothing looking through this thing. The way the system works is that you actually need a basic logistics pipes in every corner with the power transportation upgrade. As soon as I put this, you're gonna see the power falling out into that bat box. Boom. There we go. So there you go. Now I love this way to do these things because it has an animation, has a really cool like energy kind of flow in there, and you can see the power is falling pretty fast. Now this is way better because you can send items and you can send liquids and you can send everything through the pipe like this, and you don't need to be bothered with this little back and forward of an item when you can actually just keep constant flow of energy whenever you need it. Now obviously when this gets full, this will pretty much lose the power, and obviously you can start powering your items and whatever else you need. There we go. I'm gonna let it get full. And yeah, this is the one important thing, every corner that you do. So if you have a lot of corner and zigzags to get to your bat box, you need one basic logistics pipe in every place. Now here's another deal. If I break this and I put up logistics pipes there, because some people like me on my let's play, I love to build my logistics pipes like this, right? But it's not sending anything. Well, reason is that this thing also needs an upgrade. You also need to put it here to make it be able to work. And now it's full, so it's not requesting anything anymore. So what if I want to just go ahead and do that? Well, you can't do it because that's another corner, so you need a basic logistics pipes there. You need to put the transportation upgrade, and now you can send the power there. It gets full pretty quick, and now it's there. Another question you may have is, okay, so what if instead of using an LV power, I just happen to try to use something more difficult? EV. Alright, let's go ahead and do an EV power. You see it's not connected? Boom! It should explode, right? Well, it doesn't explode, but also it doesn't power it. So these EVs will not destroy your item, but they will actually just not send any power. So once you do this right here, now it's going to be sending the power. I've tested both of the ways to do this, sending batteries like that and sending the power like this, and this way is way much faster than any other thing. So you can actually just extend your network over here. Let's put one of these provider pipes over here, and I'm going to try to grab this battery over here. There we go. So I got a provider pipe, and let's get a crystal chest, and I'm going to put an empty battery there just to show you that the battery would get pulled out of here. One battery should be pulled out immediately, and as you can see, it doesn't have any problem to go through that power light and to get into the system over here and to be full again. And again, it will actually, there's the other one be ordered. This one is coming out. It will fall into here. It'll start get filled up, and this one over here is gonna do this thing. So yeah, this is the best way to do it. There is also the other one that is called TE. That was for thermal expansion, and as you saw, that power light it was red. This one over here, if we do the same, pretty much the same thing like this, we need the power transportation upgrades. As you can see, it starts to fill up some energy. I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way out to over here. I'm going to put out basically a quarry. That's a query fixer. There you go. So I'm just going to grab a query like that and slap a basic logistics pipe like that. And over here I'm going to have the power supply for TE, or thermal expansion, which is working with the RF. And obviously some of those upgrades. So I'm going to put this thing in here, and as you see, it's connected. It has some little light there, but it's still not receiving power because we need to go through all the junctions like this. So as you can see, it's receiving some RF power, but instead of this, I'm going to be using something more strong because this redstone, they only give me 20 RF per tick, so I'm going to use something different. So it's going to be, I'm going to use one of the solar panels right here and just slap it on top. This is very hard to make actually, but they're really hardcore. They make a lot of RF per tick. You see 4,000 RF per tick, so this one gets full up pretty fast. Put the basic logistics pipes there. Put the, not this one over here. We need this advanced satellite, not advanced satellite upgrade at all. This one, power transportation upgrade. All of those pipes have it. slap it in there, and now you can see there is this red kind of line that falls into here, and it's just a beam because this thing gets full up pretty fast. All the items get sucked up on the same pipe, and they go obviously into our backup chest over here, and that's pretty much it. So you can see there is a red energy over here, and over here it would be this yellowish kind of looking energy. If I put it correctly, you see there is a yellow, there is a red one for RF and for the other energy. So I hope you guys everyone find this interesting and useful, and you guys learned a little bit of something here. All right, see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.